school and get back into art, I decided to make a simple art lesson for you this week. Nothing too complicated because I know that going back to school after having multiple days off is really tricky to do. So this week we are going to use some simple paper and make beautiful snowflakes that we can decorate our homes with. I am going to have these up as long as I possibly can because I just think it's so pretty. And if we can't get it to snow outside, we can make it snow inside. So for our art lesson this week, we are being inspired by a really cool scientist turned artist named Snowflake Bentley. Well, at least that's his nickname. And he was the first person in the 1920s, a long time ago, to figure out how to photograph snowflakes before they melt. And he's the one who figured out and discovered that snowflakes actually have 6 points and that all snowflakes are unique and different, just like us. Our snowflakes this week are going to help us with some fine motor skills. We're going to learn how to fold things very carefully and get nice creases. And then we are also going to practice our cutting skills because that's a tricky thing. We're going to work on cutting some simple shapes like triangles and squares and circles and maybe even hearts out of our snowflakes and unfold them carefully to reveal their beautiful new shape. We are also going to play with some color. I'm going to show you how to color your snowflakes before and after to make them really spectacular. So technical skills are the key this week. For our art project, it's very simple. You just need some paper. Now, I wouldn't use paper from your art kit this week because it's really thick and hard to cut. So search around your house for some thin paper. You might want to use computer paper that you can pull out of a printer if you have that. You could use some of your lined notebook paper that you might have from some of your other school lessons. You could even use pages from magazines or wrapping paper or tissue paper, any kind of paper you want. It does not have to be white. I'm going to even show you what it looks like if it's not white. You'll like it. So grab yourself some paper. You need your scissors, of course, so that you can cut out all of your cool shapes. And because we're going to make them colorful because it's art class with me, make sure you grab yourself some coloring supplies like crayons or markers or colored pencils so you can make them a little next level cool. We'll start by just making a simple one, and then we will add some color to make them extraordinary as well. So grab your supplies, some thin paper, scissors, and some coloring supplies, and we'll get started.
Hopefully you found all of your art supplies that you need today. A pair of scissors to do some cutting, some paper. I have different kinds of paper here. I have some white computer paper. I found some colorful paper as I was searching. And I even pulled out some pages from magazines that are kind of fun to make some snowflakes from. You also hopefully grabbed some coloring supplies. I'm going to use my crayons today. And one thing that's really helpful, friends, is to get yourself a nice big bowl or bucket or container or box that you can catch all of your bits in as you make your snowflakes. That way you're not making a big mess, and then you have some fun confetti for later. So to get started, everybody, we have to do some folding. I'm going to start with a plain white piece of paper so that you can see what to do. But remember, you can use any kind of paper that you want. So first things first, I'm gonna make my paper go long ways like this, and we have to turn our paper into a square because a rectangle won't work to make a snowflake. So to make it a square, we are first gonna do some folding. So take your paper, friends, and fold a triangle. I'm gonna take one corner and fold it up to the top until the edges match up. Do you see how I'm bringing my corner diagonally up to the right? And as I go, eventually my two edges here will become parallel and match up. And then I have two parallel lines here that makes a rectangle. And that is how I start making my square. If it's like this, that's not gonna work. And if it's like this, that's not gonna work. We need our paper to be nice and straight at the top. So this might take a minute till you figure this part out, and once you get it, you'll be set. So line up your paper and then hold it and give it a crease. So you're actually folding a triangle shape to start. Okay, so once you have this, then you're gonna cut off this chunk, and that's how we make a square piece of paper. Remember, when we hold our scissors, friends, our thumb goes in the little part and our fingers go in the big part. So we hold our scissors like this, our thumb is always on top. If you can't see your thumb because your scissors are sideways or upside down or wiggled all around, it's gonna be really hard to cut. So keep your thumb on top. Then we cut. Perfect. Once I've removed this piece, now my paper is a triangle, and if I open it up, you can see that it's actually a perfect square. Now I'm ready to make my snowflake. So I'm gonna take my square piece of paper, fold it back in half the same way, give it a good crease. Press real hard there, friends. All my corners are matched up. Now I'm gonna fold it into a triangle again, a second time, right in half. I'm gonna take my long and pointy triangle piece over here and make it match up with this one on the left. So I pick it up, I fold it over, match up, and then crease this tall crease. Make sure you hold everything down as you do it. Awesome. Now I'm gonna make one more triangle fold, everybody. So again, I'm taking my pointy one and folding it over to its matching triangle point. If I try to go up this way, it won't fold in half perfect. Or if I try to go this way and just take one tail, that won't work. So I wanna take one corner and fold it over to its match to make a nice little triangle. So 3 triangle folds to make your snowflake. Now, friends, what I want you to do is to cut different shapes out of the edges. All 3 edges. You could cut half circles, you could do half of a heart, squares, rectangles, and even silly wiggly shapes. Now this part's tricky because you have lots of papers to cut through, so take your time. When you're cutting and using your scissors to do this, you're gonna wanna use the back part of your scissors, not the front. The back part is really strong. So with your thumb in the top, open your scissors, put it really far back in the back of your scissors alligator mouth, and cut a shape. I'm gonna start cutting a half circle, it looks like. And then this, I put in my bowl of scraps. So as we go, we're just gonna use the back of our scissors and do some careful cuts. Take your time as you do this. This time I cut out a rectangle. You could even cut off the points and the corners like that. Oop, that one went flying. Be careful, boys and girls. So every edge, all 3 are gonna get some different shapes. There's another half circle. I could do a tall, skinny rectangle slice, and I'm always using the back of my scissors. Try to make them go in pretty far as you do it, into the middle of your triangle, so your triangle gets cut all apart. There's a triangle cut out there, and I think I'll cut off this little corner. Great. Once you've cut at least one shape on every edge of your triangle piece, now it's the fun part. Carefully unfold. Take your time so you don't rip it. Unfold it, open the crease, unfold it, open the crease, oh my goodness, unfold it, oh wow, open the crease, and there is my first snowflake. I can hang it this way or this way, any way I want. It's beautiful. And you can see how my shapes, I cut a half circle and then it turned into a whole circle. I cut a half of a rectangle and it turned into a whole rectangle. These are where I cut off the corners. It made an open circle and it made some funny little edges too. So have fun cutting. Let's do it again and see what else we can come up with. This time, let's try it with a pink piece of paper. So remember, you take your bottom corner and fold it up to the top until it's parallel and matches. Take your time, not like this, not like this. Match it up so the corner becomes a point. Now fold that crease. Good. Now, cut off the rectangle. Great. Now we're ready to make our snowflake. Make it look like a pyramid. Now fold the right side to the left side with the matching points coming together. And crease. It's okay if it doesn't match up perfect. Now next side, matching corners, fold over in half. Perfect. You folded it 3 times. Now take your scissors and cut shapes out of every edge. Remember, you can use any kind of paper you want. You could use white paper, you could use colorful paper, and you can use magazines. If you want to make your white paper colorful, I would do it before you cut. So take your piece of paper and you can add any kind of color designs that you want. You could do swirlies or wigglies or lines, and color your paper first with some fun designs. Now, just like before, fold it and cut it. When you're all done, unfold. Remember, do this part really carefully so you don't rip your paper. Ta-da! Cool! The bigger your cuts, the bigger the sections. The smaller the cuts, the smaller the sections. Have fun playing and experimenting and making all sorts of beautiful shapes. Remember, if you do something that's half, when you open it, it will become whole. So have fun making a bunch of different snowflakes, friends, and put them on display all over your